I'm hoping this is working again, guys. I'm back. It's been a minute since I've done a video. Um, I decided it's time for another coffee chat. It's kind of a little late in the morning for me, but I'm completely unmotivated to do anything physical right now. I've been busy. I've been dealing with heat stroke and dehydration for months now, I think. It's taken a toll on me. At my age, it's getting a little harder to chug forward as much. And unfortunately, outside things I've been doing with work and other things away from my homestead have just it's been sucking me dry of any energy I have. It's what this world seems to do. It takes and takes and takes away from you without giving you much at all in return. So, that said, the weather's cooling down a little bit. It's been in the 80s versus the 90s. Well, I think it's cooling off a little bit. So I'm gonna take my time this morning. I'm tired. It's been a long weekend, and I'm gonna get to my outside chores here eventually. I got some things I need to do outside again. I always have some things I need to do around the homestead, but I've had a lot on my mind lately. I've been wanting to have a discussion with y'all again, so I figured I'll do it now. Keep putting it off, not sure what to talk about, not sure how to go. And I ramble on. I've got a million things on my mind all the time, so it's hard for me to focus on specific topics. I will maybe get better at that eventually when I start taking notes and reading from a script more. It's just I don't have a lot of time in my life to do that, so I just decide to do it and we go from there. So my video today, I guess, is going to be a little bit more of an extension into who I am and why I am doing what I'm doing. Not that you necessarily care who I am or why I'm doing what I'm doing, but it ties into a lot of the things going on in the world that I plan on discussing. You know, so I think the deeper I go into my personal life, the more I can share with you what I think is happening in this world. Because I am living my life really, really as close to nature as I can. I'm trying. I'm trying to really live as humble a life as I can, and I'm learning every day how to do that a little bit better. And I'm far from being where I want to be. May never be there. But I'm trying to just live this life. There was a quote. What was his name? Henry Thorogood. Oh, pardon me if I get that wrong. A 1800s author wrote some books about living in nature and how he went off into the wilderness to really dissect life and break it down to its most basic reason and purpose, and to understand things at a very basic molecular level. And get yourself out of the noise of big city life and modern day living. Touch the grass, touch the grass. People say that on social media all the time from their couch on their computer. They're always telling people, you go outside and touch the grass. I'm thinking, you fuckers have probably never walked barefoot in the grass. So people love throwing advice around on social media as if they have any fucking idea what they're talking about. I think it makes them feel better inside, and so I'll let them have that. I get that. I get that. So touch the grass. Actually go outside and touch the grass. Be with nature. And anyway, why? Because it matters, man. It fucking matters. And now I'm gonna disclose to you who I am. Bear with me. It's coffee time still. I'm doing my coffee. I'm smoking I'm doing my morning ritual. We all do rituals throughout the day. It's what it is. This place is a place of ritual. Not for good things either, but it's, I'm smoking. Well, I'm drinking my coffee because I'm addicted to the caffeine. Bottom line, I'm addicted to coffee. It's something I want to give up. It's something I think I need to give up. I've been trying to deal with some health issues for many years of my life. I've gone through all kinds of diet changes, not really diet changes, but eating habit changes. Sticking to real basic foods and real healthy foods, cooking for myself, avoiding too many processed things. I don't go out to eat much. It's a lot of gut related issues. And I'm going to share this because I know most of you also deal with gut-related issues. I mean, it happens to be a thing that I think is affecting a lot of Americans today. I think a lot of us are walking around with some gut-related issue, and that sucks. Anybody walking around with any gut-related issues knows that that drains you. It drains you. Why? It's the center of your body. It's the center of your existence, is your guts. I mean, that's where your instincts come from, right? Your guts. Our brains do certain things, our heart does certain things, and our guts are doing certain things. And our guts play a big role in how we perform throughout the day, and our mental health, our focus, um, gut health. Gut health is extremely important. And our guts are under attack today by the satanic worshiping PDFs and child abusers out there who are running this show, trying to make us as unhealthy as they can to keep us at low frequency, low energy. I'm gonna tell you who I am in case you've missed it in previous videos. You're gonna decide real quick whether you want to follow me or not. I think I'm gonna have a hard time gaining any kind of traction on YouTube because I take the stance I take and the positions I take. I'm gonna lose a lot of you. I'm used to eye rolls and people walking away mid-sentence often. The level of disrespect I get from other people in my life on a daily basis is mind-blowing. The closer I get to God, the closer I get to seeking the truth, the more people walking around just tend to roll their eyes at you and laugh at you. It seems to be a fact here. It seems to be a thing that's happening. The closer you try to get to react to what's really going on in this world, the more the people out there will mock you for that. It's the crabs in the bucket syndrome. If you're not aware of that, look it up. Look up crabs in the bucket syndrome. It's a thing. It's a psychological thing, and I think a lot of us have experienced it. I think when you have this personality, this mindset where you want to try to do things differently, you want to try to maybe do things a little better. You want to not to show up anyone or show off, but just because you think they could be done better. So you try to step it up and you try to do things a little better and a little differently, and maybe you see another path you want to take, so you break away and you try to get off the short bus, you know what I mean? And you try to do your own thing. What happens often is the other people, the other crabs, crabs in a bucket is a boiling pot, the crabs don't realize they're boiling to death until they die, because it's a slow process of boiling. The crabs in the bucket, the rest of the population around you, they don't like that. They don't like watching other people try to do better. They don't like watching other people try to succeed above them. There's a lot of jealousy, and a lot of it's because these people, these NPCs, non-player characters, if you're familiar with video games, which I'm not, but I understand the concept, these people who seem to exist in this world, they don't like when other people do better. It makes them look bad. And instead of these people doing things themselves to make themselves better, almost knocked my bong over, they tend to pull everybody else down with them. I experience it every day in my life at work with coworkers. I always have. Some of you probably do too. Seems like the more you try to excel in life, the more likely you are to be cut down by someone else. You're going to be thrown under the bus. You're going to be lied to about. You're going to be blamed and accused of doing things you did not do by other people solely for the reason of cutting you down so that they look better. Because instead of lifting themselves up, it's easier to just chop you down. Takes less energy on their part. And then they don't have to take any responsibility for their own personal actions. They can still do better by doing less. A lot of you probably work with people every day who probably don't deserve their jobs. They probably don't deserve any job at all. They walk around doing bare minimum. They take credit for things they do not do. And then if they're asked about something, they will immediately blame somebody else for it while avoiding responsibility. And somehow these people keep their jobs. I think it's out of desperation because, well, these employers today, they suck dick. Employers today suck cock. Your job sucks. You know it. You fucking probably hate your boss. You probably hate your boss in your job. And that's a big part of our problem today. There are a lot of you, like me, and as I'm not saying I don't hate life on it, but hey, man, I'm doing what I do. It's what I do. I'm gonna keep doing it. Do I love it? No, no, I don't love it. But hey, I get up in the morning, I take my responsibilities, I go home. Um, I think a lot of us try to do that. I think a lot of us just try to do what we have to do to get by. Because we know the grass isn't greener on the other side. We can believe it is, and it might be greener. It might actually be a little greener on the other side, but it might also be torrential downpours every day of your life too, which is why it's greener. So, do you want to be under that black cloud getting poured on all the time just to have some greener grass? There's always give and take. There's always pros and cons. But anyway, I'm rambling again. But it all ties together, man. We live in a very modern world, very technological world you can buy whatever you want to buy. You can spend your money all day long on anything, easy as can be. They make it super easy for you to spend your money and consume whatever you want. Super easy for that. We live in a toxic world. Again, our PDF, satanic worshiping rulers, our elected officials. God bless you if you still vote. God bless you if you still have faith in politics. I don't. I never really did. I kind of played along with the game for a while because, like everybody told you, everybody tells you growing up, it's your duty as a citizen to vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain about things, right? If you don't actively participate in politics, you don't have a right to complain. So, voting gives you a right to complain. So you're voting for something so that you can complain about it after. It's a very weird way but that's what we're all told. We're all told that if you don't vote, you can't complain. I can complain about plenty of things without having to vote for the people who are causing these fucking problems in this world. Ignorance is a wonderful thing, isn't it? It's rampant. That's why I consider these people to be NPCs. They're just there to be there, just to toe the line out of sheer ignorance. They're not going to take the time to figure anything out. They're not going to take the time to question things. Myself and others out there, we want the damn truth. I am sick and fucking tired of being gaslit by everyone every day of my life. I'm sick of it, man. I grown up in school, sick of it. Sick of it. Sick of these teachers who were trying to teach me something that they didn't fucking understand. They just memorized their fucking textbooks. And every time, and I was the student who would raise my hand and ask a question to the teacher, challenge the teacher. And I'd never get an answer. I'd never get a fucking answer. You'd never get a response. Even in college, taking accounting courses, I used to ask my professors things, and they'd look at me and be like, I'll have to get back to you on that. And they never did. They never did. College professors unable to answer questions when you actually ask them questions, but they're going to hold you to the standard of passing a test, right? I don't give college-educated people credit for much at all. I've got a college education. Useless to me. Unless I want to go out there and toe the line in exchange for some money, it's useless to me. And I have a soul. I believe in God. I believe in doing better on this earth. And if that means I have to live in more of a life of poverty because I'm not going to go out there and toe this fucking bullshit line in exchange for a better life here, fine. Fine. Leave me behind. People say that all the time. You don't use AI. You don't use this technology. You're going to be left behind. I built a house off the fucking grid. I'm cool being left behind. I've been alone the majority of my adult life. I'm fine being on my own. Leave me behind. I have no interest in going with you all wherever you think you're going. Not where I care to go. This life is to learn and experience. It is to And it's not to learn and experience anything out there. It's to look inward. It's to look inward. We're here to discover who we are, is why we're here. The problem is the satanic worshiping PDF files in this fucking country ruling us. I don't care where you live, it's in your community. Your commissioners are assholes. Your elected leaders in your towns and your counties. In my county where I live, the people calling shots in my government office down here, the handful of entitled assholes who are there because they have families who put them there, they didn't get there. These people didn't get their job out of merit or credibility. They didn't get their job out of hard work. They were chosen and selected to do that job by people who wanted them to do it. Why? Because, well, yeah, my county leaders are some of the most corrupt human beings I've ever met. Yours probably are too. It doesn't matter where you are. These elected people, these people put in these government positions to make this, the people deciding on data centers in your neighborhoods. There's probably 3 or 4 people, maybe 6 people. There might be half a dozen people in your county who are in suits and ties in their business attire in their fancy mansions with their 6-figure incomes, who do nothing. They don't work at all. They don't lift a fucking finger all day. These people who sit behind a desk telling you what to fucking do, they don't fucking work. These people don't break a sweat doing anything. The hardest thing they probably do physically is abusing children, and they do that with enjoyment. They appreciate that. They like that. But it's probably the most energy they exert all their lives is abusing others. They love abusing others. They love telling others what to do. And they're doing it for money. They're getting a lot of money doing it. These county officials who are putting data centers in your backyard, whether you fucking want them or not. You can have a county of a 500,000 people who don't want data centers. 6 people in a nice cozy office job are going to put a data center there. And they ain't going to give a fuck what you want. And the sad thing about it is 500,000 people in that county, at the end of the day, they aren't going to do anything about it. Half a dozen people and 500,000 aren't going to do anything about it. If somebody entered my life and tried to do something to me, they would regret that one way or another. I put it on the people to make those in charge regret their decisions one way or another. I'm not trying to incite violence. You don't need to do that. But, these people live in your community. You can find out who they are. You can find out where they live. You can set up camp right outside of their front yard. Public area is public area. Protests can take place in public places. Period, end of line. Do it while you still can. I say, if you don't agree with what a handful of people in your town are doing to you, then make sure they know that. And you're not going to get there screaming on a Facebook meme. You're going to get there on the streets, boots on the ground. But anyway, again, shame on America for taking a fucking nap. Shame on y'all. You're too afraid to come together as a community and do what you have to do as a community. You're too afraid. Fear is a terrible thing that they use against us. They make you afraid. And as you can see, the few people who speak up at these town halls and meetings, the few people who do express their voices are often just dragged out by the cops. And when that happens, it's everybody else in the back of the room just ignores it instead of helping, instead of screaming at the cop to let him go. They just let the cop drag him out of the room silently. This is why nothing gets done in America. But anyway, fear. They keep us afraid of everything. They keep us afraid of doing anything. And the few people who have the fucking balls and nerve to do something, you're on your own. Because the people behind you in the room, they're not going to step up. They're not going to stand up behind you. They're going to watch you burn down. Because they're afraid of the same thing happening to them. But what they don't understand is if all of them defend you, the few people in charge, they ain't going to be able to do shit. They're hopeless. And that's the point. Strength in numbers. End of that conversation. So we're going to talk about how I don't trust anybody in this country, in this world. I don't trust people. I don't trust the people in charge. I don't know why any of you have any reason to trust the people in charge. These people don't care about you. In my opinion, anybody who wants a job deciding how you're going to live your life, that person has a problem with authority. That person's an asshole. Um, you know, who the fuck are you to tell any of us how to live our lives? None of the people making decisions for me in my county live a life anything remotely like mine. None of them do. They live lives I don't personally want to live. I would not want to live the way they live. I don't even know how they live, but I probably wouldn't want it. But they're going to dictate how I live and how the rest of us live. They're going to tell us how much water we can use. Eventually, they're going to tell you how many times you can flush your fucking toilet every day. And if you violate that, you'll get fined. You'll get fined for flushing your toilet too many fucking times. This is coming. The people in charge, they don't give a fuck about you. And they think they're going to be taken care of if they do for their handlers what they're told to do. And they will until they're no longer useful to their handlers, and they'll pay the price too. So fuck them all, right? Anyway, look inward, guys. Look inward. I'm a prepper. I'm an off-grid prepper. I'm a doomsday prepper. And a large part of prepping to me, yes, you want supplies. Yes, you want to have things on hand, tools, resources that you will need when the grid goes down. Yes, you want certain things at hand. You want to have things to get you by and buy you time. A pantry. Yeah, our grandparents had food pantries. Why? Because they realized that they should have several weeks of food on hand because they know tough times can happen. We live in a society today where you can get everything you want 5 minutes down the road at any goddamn store. And if you can't get it at a store, you can order it online. It'll be at your house in 2 fucking days. We are so spoiled. We are so goddamn spoiled as Americans in this world. It's disgusting. And we can't ever get enough, man. Can't ever get enough. The level of addiction, coffee. I'm addicted to coffee. I want to give it up because it's fucking my guts up. Why do I think coffee's fucking my guts up? Okay, we're going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to talk about personal health and personal responsibility. You got to live healthier lives. We all got to live healthier lives. We all got to realize we're being poisoned by the people in charge. The food manufacturers, none of you know how any of your food's being manufactured. None of you have a job working at a manufacturing plant making food products that we eat. None of you do. I don't know anybody who works in a plant making food. So where is all this processed food coming from? Where every grocery store in this country you go, you got your macaroni and cheeses, you got your boxed processed fucking foods, same brands, same packaging, same everything, coast to fucking coast in this country, and they sell billions of these packages of processed food every day. Where the fuck does all that food come from? Where? None of us know what the fuck we're consuming or where it even comes from. All these energy drinks. Do any of you work in a fucking Red Bull factory making Red Bull? No. None of you do. I don't know anybody who does. And I mean, maybe there's a Red Bull factory somewhere with some people who are working along an automated fucking assembly line, making sure the robots and machines are doing shit. I mean, none of you know what the fuck's in that beverage or how the fuck it's made. I beat on energy drinks a lot, man. I think that's an addiction that's just gone haywire. None of us know where anything comes from. We aren't responsible for manufacturing anything that we consume in this country anymore. That should be alarming to everybody. Now our president is talking about allowing imported ground beef from Mexico and other countries to come into this country uninspected to compensate for our beef shortage we're having. Well, because our government's been telling us for 20 years we shouldn't be eating fucking beef. And now that beef prices gone up and our cattle's at risk because our government doesn't want us eating beef, they're going to start importing fucking beef to save us. So we're going to start eating imported beef that's not being properly inspected. Not that I believe it ever has been anyway, but now they're telling us it's not going to be. You don't know what the fuck you're going to be eating. You're never going to tell the difference between a pound of ground beef or a pound of ground homeless people. You're not going to know, man. Red meat is red meat, guys. And they can add dye to anything to make it look like red meat. So if you think the ground beef we're gonna be eating coming from Mexico is 100% ground beef, well, you might as well just stay in line at McDonald's and keep eating that shit too. Which millions of you do every day. Millions of you will still go to McDonald's or Burger King or Arby's. I mean, that shit makes me want to fucking vomit just thinking about it, man. God bless you. If you want to wait in line and eat a fucking Big Mac, chug it down with an extra large soft drink. Because at this point in your life, you still don't know what's good for you and what's not good for you. Look inward, guys. You're going to get sick and you're going to go to the doctor because you don't feel good. And the doctor's going to be like, well, what you have is this disease. You have a disease. And your disease requires medication. So we're going to give you some medication. And you're going to have to take this probably for the rest of your life to help ease this disease that you have. And you're going to go home and you're going to pop your pills. And you continue sitting in line at McDonald's, drinking your fucking sugary drinks and your energy drinks and eating your fried chicken and still feeling ill while you're taking your medication, which most definitely has side effects, which is going to cause other problems. And you're not going to know, and you're going to go back to the doctor 3 months later and be like, doctor, I don't think the medication's working. I still feel sick. Your doctor's, he ain't going to ask you he ain't going to ask you what you do all day in your life. He don't fucking care, man. He's not going to put together the fact that you're eating junk food and you're not feeling good. Your doctor's a retard. Your doctor's a fucking retard who only has that job because they want to earn a lot of money. They're there because they want income. Their sole motive is income. They want to earn more money than you earn. They want to have nicer things than you. That's why they go to medical school. That's why they pay the bills to become doctors. And that's why they earn what they earn. Because they want the money. Sure, there's a handful of doctors out there who do what they do because they really love human beings. But I don't think most human beings give a fuck about other human beings, especially most doctors out there. I have two members of my family who are both specialized doctors, high level, high paid doctors. Both got into that field because they wanted that high pay. Neither of them got into that field because they actually give a fuck about anybody or anybody else's health. They certainly don't live their life like they give a shit about anybody else. They want the money and they want to live wealthy lives. And they do. They live uber fucking, wealthy lives. They show off their wealth. That's what they do. I wouldn't take medical advice from either of my uncles, my family members at all. I wouldn't take any medical advice from any of them for any fucking reason at all. I wouldn't take advice from your uncle, who's a doctor, either. So I don't think they know what the fuck they're talking about. Gut health, guys. Gut health. As I'm slowly sipping my coffee here, which I do have to give up. I need to do that. I've been drinking way too much coffee lately. Way too much coffee. But why do I want to give coffee up? We're going to talk about the pesticides and herbicides being used in this country. I think that's the discussion that we aren't having. Every year that goes by, they're spraying more of our crops with more chemicals, and they're doing it around the world more. I'm discovering now, and it's probably been this way a long time. I don't remember coffee ever bothering me when I was younger, years ago. I don't remember coffee bothering anybody. I mean, my grandparents drank a lot of coffee. My grandfather drank a lot of coffee. It's always been considered maybe a bit of a laxative for some people. I think the caffeine, the coffee, maybe even just drinking that amount of liquid in the morning gets things flowing for some people a little more than others, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But as far as stomach issues and feeling like crap all day, coffee I don't think has done that in the past. I don't think our food wasn't making us sick decades ago like it is today. When you went to a store and you bought produce and you ate a salad, you were probably eating fresher, more nutritious salad, vegetables and stuff. Today you're eating all GMO and it's all chemically processed and pesticides and herbicides. You're eating poison. You're eating poison in everything you buy and consume today. Everything, including coffee. I'm discovering now that a lot of the coffee grows around the world are also just absolutely blasting their the coffee plants, the beans, with paraquat and Roundup and all these incredible. I mean, the glyphosates, coffee, coffee beans. These coffee beans. If you, at least you can wash your fucking vegetable off at the grocery store when you get home, as if that's gonna help, as if the chemicals aren't inside the vegetable. But at least you can give yourself some peace of mind to wash the vegetable off. You aren't washing your coffee beans. These coffee beans are getting ground up. So I think what's happening is over the years, the coffee that I've been consuming has become more toxic. And the more toxic it gets, the more it's bothering my gut. Um, I've been eating healthier every year of my life for many years, trying to. Can't ease my gut. It's the coffee. I have no doubt at this point it's the coffee. So I got to get rid of that. I'm trying to drink a little less of it every day. I gave up cigarettes. I gave up alcohol. I've given up a lot of things in my life. Coffee might just be one of the hardest to give up. I mean, they're all hard to give up, man. Addictions are just hard to give up. I understand that. But your personal health matters, man. And I can sit here in my late 40s right now and look at everybody and tell you all, I don't see doctors. I haven't seen a doctor all my life. Um, Last time I remember actually going to see a family doctor was when I was a young teenager, and my family brought me to a doctor. But that was probably because I had a broken arm. Um, because I broke both my arms when I was younger. Um, and surgeons, to me, surgeons are basically just a car mechanic. Yeah, they can fix things that are broken. Okay, great. Hey, surgeons, you do what you do. You fix broken things. It's kind of, here's a broken bone, you fix it. Okay, it's, you know, um, I'll give surgeons credit for doing their job as much as I'll give a mechanic credit for fixing brakes on your car. Same thing. Your brakes are worn. Let me replace them. Okay. But doctors who prescribe pills, fuck them all. Fuck them all. Fuck them all. If you're not just stitching a wound or fixing a broken bone, you're a useless tool to me, really, quite frankly. You got no skills. You got no brains. I at least give surgeons credit to be able to fix things. That's to be able to actually fucking do something is a skill. And if you can actually fucking do something, I'll give you a skill. But if all you're going to do is look at me, take my blood pressure, look at a fucking book and be like, what you have is this and I need to give you this. If that's all you're going to do, fuck you, you useless turd. Can you do anything on your own? Can you even mow your own fucking lawn? Would you if you could? You'd probably hire some young boy to do it for dirt pay. You know what I mean? Doctors are fools. But anyway, health. Look inward. We live in a spiritual world, a soul world. We need to look inward to heal ourselves, to figure things out. I'm doing that now in my life, and I don't trust doctors. I won't go to a doctor unless I have to. Last time I went to a doctor was a few years ago. I had a pretty bad cut to my fingertip. You know, didn't want to go to the hospital. Couple hours, resisted the thought of going to the hospital while I was trying to get things ready to leave the house in case I had to go to the hospital. Finally, after a couple hours of bleeding through everything I was trying to use to stop the bleeding, I had to go to the hospital. I needed surgery. I needed my finger stitched, at least I thought. Of course, I got there, and the first thing they wanted to do was force in a tuberculosis booster in my body. They thought, you need a TB shot in case you have a, infection. So I don't have an infection. Well, we're not going to stitch your finger unless you take the shot. So I was forced to get a shot while hospital security was waiting outside my door to drag me out of there for refusing. And then I spent the next 4 days in the hospital waiting for the surgery while they were pumping me with antibiotics in this abundance of fear out of an infection, which I did not have. Turns out the surgeon just he just looked, he said, I just got to remove what's there and stitch you up. There's no infection. Infectious disease, kept pumping me with antibiotics for 4 days. Anyway, long story short, it was a hellhole situation. 4 days in the hospital for me is an absolute nightmare. I don't want to spend 4 minutes in the fucking hospital. But to be in there for 4 nights to get surgery on my finger while they pump my guts with antibiotics and not allowing me to eat food, hydrating me. They were hydrating me, with liquids, IVs. And I had severe diarrhea for 4 fucking days in that hospital. No food, but severe diarrhea because of the antibiotics and the liquids they were hydrating me with. Um, anyway, I finally got my surgery. Fingers good. Infectious disease come. Oh, you're clean. No infection. So you shot me up with tuberculosis booster, and then you fucking inject my gut with antibiotics, super strong antibiotics for 4 fucking days out of an abundance of caution for infection. Turns out I never fucking had. Should have sued him for that, but you ain't gonna find a lawyer to do that. So I go home. They release me after 4 days of pumping my unfed body with super strong antibiotics. They send me home. Goodbye, clean bill of health. You look into what antibiotics do to your gut biome. Yeah, destroys it. Antibiotics absolutely destroy your probiotics. They are antibiotics. Your gut is loaded with probiotics. You go out there and you drink things that say they're probiotics. You eat yogurt for probiotics. The hospital spent 4 days destroying my gut biome. They eliminated any probiotics I had in my stomach. I shit everything out that I could have had that was beneficial. 4 days later, malnourished, completely fucking worn out and, demoralized, I go home with no instruction on how to properly repair your gut biome. No. That's hospital negligence, in my opinion. I finally was at a point in my life where I had to go to a fucking hospital kicking and screaming. Didn't want to go there. Didn't trust the doctors. I go there. Boom. 4 days of hospital negligence, malpractice. My guts are fucked, guys. So for the last 2 years, I've been dealing with gut problems I never had in my life now. And I think things like coffee and other things like that are bothering me more now because my stomach, it's been fucked up, man. By the hospital, by the infectious disease specialists who were hell-bent on finding an infection. And they never did. They pumped me with fucking medication I did not want. But they told me refusing this treatment and they would not provide surgery, which I think is illegal. But again, find a lawyer to back you up on that. Not going to happen. Not going to happen in this world. Certainly not in this country. So anyway, hospital negligence. Google it. Hospital negligence and medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. The three. What? The three? Who are they? The medical professionals. The medical professionals tell us that cancer and heart disease are the first two leading causes of death, followed by medical negligence and malpractice. Medical negligence, hospital negligence, kills more people than automobile accidents and drunk driving in this country. Kills more people than drug addiction and drug use. The same people in charge of the hospitals and medical system are the ones telling you that heart disease and cancer kill you more than they do. And I don't believe that. I don't believe cancer is what they say it is. I don't believe heart disease is what they say it is. Okay, I think the people in charge of killing you, the third leading cause of death in this world, is telling you these two kill you more, and I think they're lying to you about that. I think the people who are killing you more than car accidents are killing you are lying to you about the other two things that are killing you. I think they're lying to you about everything that's killing you. Hospital negligence is the third leading cause of death in this country. You know, very good chance you'll die in the care of your doctor. And what hospital negligence and malpractice, what that doesn't include statistically, are the deaths that are related by drug overdoses and prescription overdose and prescription drug death. Hospitals don't take prescription drug death into account statistically with hospital negligence and malpractice. They should. They're one and the same. And I bet you if you combine hospital negligence and pill and drug death related incidents, that would by far be the leading cause of death in this country. Your hospital is killing more people in this country. Doctors are killing more people in this country than anything else on the face of this earth. Hands down. Ask Google. What is cancer? I think cancer is what your doctors can't explain. They don't know. They don't know what the fuck it is. I think Cancer is caused by the toxins in this world. Why are cancer rates up more than they used to be in the past? Well, because we're living in a more toxic world than we did in the past. You're being poisoned. You're eating rat poison. Rat poison is probably causing your body to do certain things. And your doctor, your doctor's not gonna admit that the food you're consuming is poisonous. He's not gonna tell you that Roundup and Monsanto and Paraquat and glyphosates are responsible for your illness. No, that he wouldn't get paid if he told you that. He'd lose his medical license if he told you that. So he's going to give you a pill for a disease that you have, instead of telling you, well, you're sick because you're poisoned. What is disease? It's dis-ease. Your body is feeling uneasy. You are diseased. Why are you diseased? Stress. Your body is diseased because you are under stress. When you are feeling uneasy, it's probably because there's something stressful going on in your life. So I'm rambling on, guys. I apologize. Bear with me. But I've decided to take care of myself personally and dismiss doctors. I grow cannabis too. A lot of you people aren't going to follow me probably because I smoke weed, and you're probably going to think that's a sin and whatever, blah, blah, blah. We'll go down that rabbit hole. I grow my own cannabis. I smoke cannabis. I've spent a lot of time very close with plants. I understand plant life to some degree. Certainly not a botanist or a scientist, but I'm learning how plants thrive in their environment, and how much the environment plays a role in the plant's life. And as I study plants and how they produce and grow and consume things, I realize human life and plant life, we're the same. Every living thing on this earth is the same. We all function the same way. Every living thing on this earth ingests certain things, digests things, excretes certain things, and produces certain things. Everything consumes things to produce energy, and then we excrete things. We waste the byproducts out that we don't need. Anything excess we don't need, we poop out. Plants are the same way. We eat through our mouth down to our guts. The only difference is the plants take things in from the bottom up. We take things top down, plants bottom up. It's just an inverse reality. It's the same thing, just inverse. I grow cannabis. I try to grow good cannabis plants. My next video will be a garden update this week soon on that. But I've discovered in my life that plants, they need the same thing humans need. If you're a child and you're growing up in a stressful environment, an abusive environment, an unhealthy environment, there's a good chance you're going to grow up being unhealthy, with unhealthy behavior, living unhealthy. You're probably not going to be a healthy person growing up. Whereas if you're a child growing up in a healthy, safe, clean, loving environment, there's a good chance you're going to grow up being a healthier adult. Better health, better mental health, better physical health, better habits developed early on. Your environment plays a significant role in your life, in your health, as do plants. When I notice my plants are struggling by pests or some other thing, my immediate response is not to give the plant a pill. My response is to look at the environment around that plant. What's going on? What is going on around this plant that's affecting this plant? This summer, it was intense heat. Dry, hot weather. Super dry, super hot weather. My plants, they never really looked like they're taking up their nutrients quite as well as I was hoping they would. They're healthy. They're looking great. Don't get me wrong. Considering the environment, they're doing well. But that's because I'm paying attention to the environment. I'm trying to correct the environment to help fix the plants. I'm not trying to fix the plants. The plants don't need fixing. Your body doesn't need fixing. What needs fixing is the environment around you, the situation you're living in. Hospital negligence is the leading cause of death. They talk about cancer. Cancer is one thing. I don't believe in cancer. I believe that's just a you're being poisoned, your body's showing you signs of poison, but we're not going to treat that, so we're going to blast you with more poison. And if you survive, good luck. Heart disease. I'm going to talk about heart disease. Because they tell us heart disease is the second leading cause of death. What is heart disease? It's dis-ease. Your heart is under stress. Stress is the leading cause of heart disease in this world. I've lived a very stressful life, very high stress life. I've always been kind of an adrenaline junkie as a kid, doing stupid things, pushing myself to limits that could have killed me any given day. I mean, I put myself in situations when I was younger that, I could have died any moment. And chances are nobody would have found me. I was on my own out in the wilderness a lot as a young kid. I could have died a million different ways out in the woods. And it might have taken search and rescue months to find me. They may never have found me. Teenage kid out there. I didn't care. I had so much fun being in those situations, because to me, you can't live your life to the fullest unless you live it to the extreme. You need to push yourself to your limit. You need to discover who you are. You need to look inward. And then you push yourself, you test your limits, you push yourself. How far can I go? You experiment. We're here to discover who we are, our souls. You experiment. I think drug use is experimental. It's a way to experiment with your mind and your body. I don't think that should be illegal at all. I think the ability to experiment with your own mind and body is your free will. It's why we're here. If you harm yourself during that experimental process, it's an experiment. Things go wrong. I don't think God's going to punish you for making a mistake in this moment of experience and experiment. No, I think he's going to take you back home and be like, well, did you have fun? I think we're here to explore and experiment with our own existence, to understand why we are here, who we are. But we're distracted by the outside world. We're distracted by the environment around us, and that causes stress. I've lived a high-stress life all my life. It's why I'm gray. I'm balding. My wrinkles. I've lived a high-stress life. My heart rate, most of my life, it might even still be today. I don't check it. Why would I check it? I'm still alive. I don't want to be afraid. But my heart rate all my life, since the time I was a teenager till last time I got it checked, was a couple of years ago. It was like 165 over 120. My blood pressure. Consistently. Every time I've had it checked, 165 over 120. I've had doctors and nurses look at me and be like, are you feeling okay? And I'll be like, yeah, why? Like, your heart might explode. Like, well, I'm sitting here talking to you. It's not exploding. And I've had doctors all my life want to put me on blood pressure medication. Just like my family members, just like everybody else in this world I know who's on blood pressure medications. You go to a doctor. My phone's ringing. I hope that doesn't bother you. I'm going to just cancel that. But I can't. I accidentally clicked my phone. Okay. But anyway, you go to a doctor. He's going to put you on a pill. No. I've had doctors all my life tell me I need to be on blood pressure medication. They're going to prescribe me this. No, you aren't. No, you fucking aren't. I've looked at these doctors. Even when I was a teenager, the last time I was at the doctor, I looked right at the fucking doctor, right in her fucking eyes. I said, no, I don't need blood pressure medication. I said, I need a fucking vacation. I live a stressful life, doctor. And that stressful life is probably causing my heart rate to go up a little bit. So I don't need medication, man. I need less stress in my life. And as I say this to the doctor, it's like I'm looking at a blank fucking screen. Like total brain dead fucking response. What do you mean, stress? Like fucking retarded, doctor. I need less stress. Everyone, you all have said many times in your life, boy, I just need a fucking vacation. Yes. What do you need a vacation from? The fucking stress in your life. Why do you need a vacation from the fucking stress in your life? Because the stress is fucking killing you. We live in a world that's high stress, and it's been created that way. I'm a low-income person, I always have been. hard worker, never appreciated, never paid. Many of you are too. Most of us live paycheck to paycheck. That's high stress, man. When you're worried about your financial stress is probably the biggest killer of all the stresses in our world today. Um, you know, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm homesteading, building an off-grid home because I've lost faith in humanity. I don't trust human beings at all to advise us to do anything good. I trust myself and I trust in God, and I'm looking inward. My body's trying to tell me something's going wrong. I need to try to figure this out. No doctor out there is going to be able to advise you because they have no idea. They don't know what you're dealing with, and they don't know how you live your life. You're not going to get proper advice from medical professional, in my opinion. They're not paid to give you proper advice. They're paid to keep you addicted to pills, they're paid to keep you addicted to things. I have family members. I have people in my lifetime. Yeah, you really should go see a doctor about that. You really should. For what? So they can misdiagnose me, because that happens to be the third leading cause of death in this country is misdiagnosis, negligence. The doctor gets it fucking wrong and you fucking die. And if you don't die, you're more than likely going to live a less healthy life because your doctor's getting it fucking wrong. So if it don't kill you, it ain't going to make you stronger, guys. What I've done in my life is just try to live a less stressful life. And it's still super stressful because unfortunately I've had to do everything myself to build this life. And building it all has been super stressful. Beyond physical, I'm talking mental, emotional. The amount of stress I've gone through in my life just in the past 5 years doing what I've done is overwhelming. Especially when you got to do it alone. And you realize there's no help. There's no advice out there. You got to do it yourself, man. It's stress. It's stress. So, I wanted to talk about this. I want to talk about how probably what's making you ill is stress. You're diseased because you're feeling uneasy. Your body is distressed. You're under stress. My marijuana plants react to the environment. And if it's a stressful environment, they don't do so well. And you can put things on the soil and you can amend things and you can add this and you can pretend to be a scientist and an alchemist and think you know what these plants need. The plants don't need anything. The only thing the plants need is for you to help fix the environment. It's like a baby. Every time your baby wakes up in the middle of the night and cries, your immediate response should not be to give your baby some medication. I mean, most parents, their response is to pick the baby up, to hold the child, comfort them, pat them on the back, tell them you love them. Chances are that will calm your baby down. That will make your baby feel better. Why? Well, something happened in your baby's life that caused your baby to get stressed out. The stress caused your baby to cry. You need to put your child into a safer and more comfortable environment for your child to start feeling better and more comfortable. I need to do that for my marijuana plants, man. I can't change the environment outside, but what I can do is modify my greenhouse to make it a little bit more efficient, hold a little more humidity, allow more ventilation. I'm doing all these things every day as I'm learning to help create a better environment around my plants as far as the weather goes. One of the reasons I have a greenhouse is to keep the weather from affecting my plants. So now I have more control over the internal weather of that greenhouse. I'm trying to create a good environment. I'm dealing with spider mites. I've been kind of struggling with spider mites for the last few weeks now. Not a bad problem, but they're there, and they're persistent little fucks this year, man. I mean, usually I can get rid of them pretty quick. This year has been a struggle. I just can't seem to get them away from that one spot they're in. I'll keep trying. They'll go away. But I think the extreme heat and drought conditions are allowing the pests to thrive. These pests, they thrive in conditions that everything else dies in. So you have a hot, dry environment like this, you're going to have a lot more termite pest problems, insect problems, pest-related issues, because they thrive in the most hellish conditions. So the environment that I'm currently experiencing is causing problems that are affecting my plant's health. that I'm not trying to combat that with nutrients. See, people are, oh, you got to give your plant more calcium. You got to give your plant more. No, no, probably not. I mean, if you're growing in a bare grow medium, yeah, you're in control of the nutrients. But if you're growing in soil organically like I'm doing, you probably don't need to give your plants anything. You need to just back off. Let your plants do what they got to do. But figure out what it is in their environment that's causing stress, because it's that stress that is causing your plants to become diseased. Your plants aren't going to be as green because they're not taking up the nitrogen as well. They don't need more nitrogen. There's enough nitrogen in the ground. They just can't take the nutrients in. Like any one of you, if you're under a high stress situation, and you all know, you've all been stressed out to the point where you lose your appetite, man. You're not even hungry. You don't even want to eat. And honestly, there wouldn't be any point, because when you're in such a high stress level like that, your body's not going to process the nutrients well. You're distressed. Your body is not going to function like it needs to. You could be eating the most healthiest foods in the world, but if you're stressed, your body is not going to be able to take those nutrients in properly. You're going to become malnourished. You're going to become nutrient deficient. Human body becomes nutrient deficient just like plants do. And it doesn't mean you need more salad and you need more bananas and you need more apples. It means you need less stress in your life. And I'll guarantee you out there, I'll guarantee most of you out there, if you're dealing with a health related issue, be it mental health, physical, spiritual, emotional, whatever it is, man, I'll bet if you really look inward, you really look, all right, what the fuck am I doing? What's happening around me? You'll discover you're probably not in a healthy environment. You're probably making decisions that aren't good for you. And you're probably around other people who are making decisions that also aren't good for you. You might be in an abusive situation. You might be at a job you fucking absolutely hate, but you keep going to every day. It's hard. I'll admit right now, what I'm doing is not easy, and I don't have the answers, and I might spend the rest of my life trying to find out what I need around me, what I need to correct my environment to live a truly healthy life. And I may never figure it out. But hey, I'll live my life trying to live it the best that I can, and every day trying to create a good environment around myself, one that I can enjoy. And we all do it. We all do it in our homes. Well, some people live pretty horribly disgusting lives of complete unsanitary conditions. And they have no, if you're living in a complete dump of trash and you're unhealthy, clean your place up, man. Clean the trash. Because a lot of people live in filth. I've seen it. You clean up, you dress up nice to go out in town, but boy, your house is a hot mess, man. That's not good for you. It's not good for you. Create an environment that's happy and healthy. A lot of people do with their home. They put decorations up. A lot of people will try to create in their homes an environment that's at least aesthetically pleasing for them. Why? Because it's less stress. We all recognize it, but we don't take it seriously. You are what you consume. You are a product of what you consume. You are a product of what you choose to consume. And you are a product of the environment around you. It's both. You can only control so much. You can control what you consume. Now, in this day and age, it's almost impossible to eat healthy without being poisoned, but you can try to reduce that. I'm trying to fast a little more frequently, going without eating. I do think fasting periodically is good for your body to help detoxify. But overconsumption is killing you. The addictions are killing you. And the stress, probably financial stress. I think nowadays most people are dealing with financial stress. You're worried about how you're going to pay your fucking bills. Bottom line. And if you're worried about how you're going to exist in this world financially, you're going to live a pretty unhealthy life. And it's probably going to cause other things in your life to become more stressful too. Stress, guys, I don't trust anybody out there to tell me how to live my life better than I trust myself. And I have to do for myself what I need to do in this world. I've chosen a life of solitude because I've realized you can't look inward when you're distracted by everybody else's problems. And that's the problem. I think so many people are social butterflies. And the problem is everybody else's drama and problems are going to be pulled into your life too. And you're going to be worried about this one or that one. And you're all going to be, it's drama, it's drama, it's drama. Because not any one person is trying to look inward to take care of their own drama. You want to ask your doctor. You want to get medical advice. You want psychiatric advice. You want advice. You want somebody else to fix your problems. Nobody else is going to fix your problems. And I think too many Americans, we go to others to fix our problems. And that's what we're told to do. Why? Well, that's how we become the wealthiest nation on this earth. By telling everybody here that you have to pay somebody else to fix your problems. And that generates revenue. If everybody out there is paying everybody else to solve all their fucking problems in this world, one, nobody's going to solve your fucking problems. But two, a lot of money's going to go along around the world. So a lot of wealth is going to be made. None of your problems are going to be resolved. Look inward, guys. Look inward. This has been an hour so far. I have rambled on. I apologize. I hope you're following what I'm talking about. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm going to have to watch the video, see if it makes any sense. Anyway, but we live in a world of deceit and lies. Everyone's trying to deceive you. It's all about making a buck. And they're going to lie to you. They're not going to care. There are people who will sleep better than I do any given night after lying to everybody in their world. I don't know how they can do it. Maybe they don't have a conscience. Maybe they don't have a soul. Or maybe they've sold their soul to the devil in exchange for their money, and that's all they care about. I do believe that happens too. I do believe at some point in your life, the devil's going to approach you. And the devil's going to offer you opportunity. And, I think a lot of people will take that opportunity to live a better financial life of power and authority over others. I don't. And anytime I've been told I have to do something that goes against my morals, I've told my employer to kiss my ass. Doesn't make me more wealthy. But, I'm not going to do anything that goes against my morals. I don't think any of you should. If you have morals, I think you should hold them close to your heart. I think what happens here in this world is temporary. It's an opportunity for us to explore ourselves, learn more about ourselves. The role of the devil, the role of the pedophiles in this world, the role of those who are ruling our lives right now is to keep us distracted, to keep us too distracted to look inward. It's time to break that pattern. It's time to look inward. Part of prepping has become just becoming the best person I can be. Taking care of myself to the best of my ability. Paying attention to myself and what I need. I'm trying. You don't need to do that. You don't need to be selfish or self-centered to do this. I'm not saying you just need to shut everybody else and focus on your life and that's it. But your life matters. And you need to take better care of yourself. Because you're not going to be of any help to anybody else if you aren't much help to yourself. I'm not going to give advice to anybody. I don't want to be the reason you die. I don't want you to die because you stopped taking your medicine your doctor prescribed you. Although I don't think that's what's going to kill you. I think the addiction and loss of that addiction is going to cause stress in your body and you're going to die because your body's suddenly not going to know how to react to the change. Addictions, your body goes through things when you get off of certain substances. So, but just if you can consider this advice, my advice, and I'm only giving you this because it's the way I live. I live the way I preach. I'm a 48-year-old man. I don't go to doctors. I'm not the healthiest human. Obviously I got issues. I think we all have health issues. But I'm pretty physically fit compared to a lot of 48-year-old men walking around me today. I used to care, and when I was in my 30s, I had the dad bod. I was 30 pounds overweight. just like most of my peers walking out there today. Um, I think I'm still pretty mentally focused, pretty sharp, pretty observant. You know, I'm just trying to live my life the best that I need to live for me. And the only way I'm going to figure that out is to look inward. And I've spent many years of my life doing this homesteading off grid thing, looking inward. Uh, Not necessarily meditation. I mean, some people, for them, silence, easing their mind is how they improve their health. I can't ease my mind. I feel like I have no control over my mind. Um, I don't know why, but I can't silence my mind. That doesn't help me with the stress. But what I can do is every day just keep looking inward, man. What is my body trying to tell me that's going wrong with my world around me that I need to fix? Because if you're not happy in a situation, you're best to leave it. And if you're worried about, well, what happens next, just take that leap of faith, guys. That's where faith comes into hand. If there are so many times I've done, doing this, there were so many times in my life I've just taken that leap of faith. I've said to myself, I have no idea what's going to happen after. I just know that what's happening now isn't good, and I need to remove myself from it. And I did. And I did that at least with the confidence of knowing that, don't worry, Kane, whatever happens, you'll recover, you'll figure it out. And I always do. I think everyone does. If you do, so don't be afraid. I think a lot of people are afraid to leave their environment because they're afraid of what else might be out there, or they're uncertain of what might, I think a lot of people stay in abusive relationships because they're afraid to leave. They're afraid to throw themselves to the wolves. Have faith, guys. Have faith in God. Have faith in yourself. I do believe we all have a bit of God in us. We are not gods. We are mortal beings, but I do believe that our soul, our instincts, I do believe that we have, the inside of us is a spirit guiding us. We have to listen to that spirit, because outside are other spirits, demons, who are trying to guide us. And if they're not demons, they're other people's spirits who might, with good intention, be trying to guide us, but not doing what's best for us. Because you aren't that person. You aren't your best friend. You can love your best friend, but you aren't your best friend. So what's good for your best friend isn't necessarily good for you. Look inward, guys. Soul search, man. And you have to have trust and faith in that. You have to have faith in your own soul. And I think it's healthy to turn off the distractions around you, to focus on you. And hey, getting doctor's advice, getting help from medical professionals, getting help from professionals if you need it. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Certainly times it can help, but I think a lot of the time you're best to just look inward, look at what you're doing to yourself, and then look around you in your immediate environment. You're doing a lot to yourself that's harming you. Bottom line, you're doing a lot to yourself, but your environment's also impacting that too. You can't necessarily change everything that's going on outside around you, but you can certainly put yourself in different positions. You can change some of the things in your world, the people you're around. You need to try to live a less stressful life, to live a healthier life. Doctors and medicine and pills aren't gonna fix that. They aren't gonna fix the problems. So I guess that's it. I've learned a lot about my health by handling my cannabis plants throughout the years, and discovering that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I don't, I'm not going to fix my plants by giving them this or taking this or doing that. The best thing my plants need is a good, safe, healthy environment. And the more I improve the environment, the less spider mite pressure I'm going to have on those plants, the healthier the plants will be. Stress, guys. Stress. and we live in an intentionally stressful world today. Everybody's worried about everything today, and if you're not worried about it, you're afraid of it. You're afraid of nuclear bombs. You're afraid of. I mean, everybody's afraid of something. You're afraid of COVID. You're afraid of killing grandma. You're afraid of going against the grain. You're afraid of being looked at as a weirdo. Well, trust me. The closer I get to God, the closer I get to realizing that we exist in a place that is a creation. It has been intentionally created for us for reasons we probably will never understand. The closer I get to understanding that this world might in fact be a flat, topographical, stationary plane, and everything else, the sun, stars, and moon, revolve around us, the more I come to this realization that we might in fact be the center of creation and not actually whirling around chasing it, the more people think I'm a weirdo. The closer you get to God, the more people wander away from me. The closer you get to suggesting we live in a place with intent of creation and we have purpose, seems the more people run away from me. But that's because of the world we live in, man. The devil has distracted us. I mean, a lot of people walking around with no belief in anything. They don't have faith in anything. They just simply have to take advice from the professional and they go from there. Have faith, man. I'm going to tell you right now, it's worked for me. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. I've thrown myself to God's faith time and time again. And I didn't even know I was doing it for a long time. Of course, a lot of it's myself. I look inward to myself to help myself and to come up with the answers. But that's not without guidance, guys. It's not without a spiritual guidance in my life trying to help me navigate in this very foggy, cloudy, toxic world of distraction. So it's who I am. I'm a fucking hippie. I'm a tree hugging, earth loving hippie. I live a life that I think is the best for me. And I'm trying to break free from this matrix that's been created around us. Because it's not there for us. It's not there for our health, and it's not there for our soul. It's not there to help us ascend to a higher dimension. It's to keep us at low frequency, man. We're the demons in charge of this world, the Satanists, the pedophiles in charge of this world, are doing everything they can to keep us as miserably stressed out as they can. Because they know stress is going to be the leading cause of disease in our lives. Nothing else. The more environmental stress they can put on us, the more rules, the more regulations, the more fees, the more fines, the more deadlines, the more cameras. We're going to be punished for making mistakes soon. The one day you accidentally speed in that speeding zone, you're going to get fucking fined for it. We live in a world where our leaders are holding us to standards that nobody can hold themselves to. It's a trap, man. We're being herded right into a fucking trap of more stress, more worry, looking over our shoulders every day. That's the plan. They know that if they can cause more stress in our lives, we will be distressed and diseased. And then we're going to go to our doctors in the most expensive healthcare system in the world for answers. And you're not going to get them. I know this is going to turn a lot of people off. You're going to think I'm nuts. You might think I'm arrogant. I really don't care. I'm here for the people who want to hear what I'm saying. I'm here for the people who want to be part of this conversation, who want to be truth, who want the damn truth, Because it's hard for me to take care of myself when I'm being misled by people every day, trying to tell me the wrong thing. Tired of it, man. So I give myself to God and me, my instincts. So I got to try to figure my guts out. Because my gut biome is fucked up. And that's, my internal compass isn't working properly because my instincts aren't working properly. So I got to dial your guts in, bring your instincts closer to reality, and I think we can all make better choices. So I'm going to try to give this coffee up, guys. I'm definitely going to try to slow down and consume less of it, because I do think the coffee's fucking me up. I think everything we is fucking us up, but this is not helping me um, at all. So there's my addiction I got to try to get off of, my weakness. We all have one. You know, I'm try to be the real deal, man. I try to be as honest as I can, open as I can. Hiding who I am won't help share who I am with you, or what I'm doing. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm not here to deceive. Um, you know, I'm not trying to mislead you, or trying to give you wrong advice. I'm just trying to tell you what's working for me, what I think I need to do, and how I think it's working. How I, you know, I think it's working. Um, and I think it's bringing me closer to becoming a more humble person and understanding others better. You know, understanding addictions, understanding the environmental stresses we're going through every day in our lives is part of the process of healing. You know, and that involves looking inward as much as you can. Seek guidance from your body and the spirit guiding you. And this is advice I probably never would have given anybody a few years back, but the things that happened in my life over the past few years, you know, I can't deny a creator. I can't deny God. I can't deny the existence of this spiritual being in me, this spiritual realm we exist in. I don't know if it's as much of a test as it is just, you know, God giving us the choice to come down here and do what we choose to do. You know, so I want to do what's best for me. I'm learning every day. I want to be the best man I can be. Prepping in this world, being prepared, starts inside, starts here, starts in your chest, starts in your mind, starts there. And that means stepping away from a lot of the outside distractions, turning off the Netflix, you know, taking more personal responsibility for your health, for what you do, your choices you make. And a lot of that means, you know, you don't stop trusting so many labels on the products you drink. Stop trusting that it's good for you because the label says it's good for you. Again, you don't know what's in that can. You don't know what's in that package. You don't know how it was made. You don't know. You don't know. And just because a celebrity drinks it, or just because it sponsors your favorite sports team, or yeah, doesn't mean it's true. I mean, you're being lied to, and maybe you don't care. Maybe you like it too much. Maybe you're too addicted, and that's fine. That's, you know, you have to save yourself, because nobody in this world is going to save you. Nobody in this world is going to save you. You have to save you. You have to want to save yourself, and then until you want to save yourself, you're going to enjoy this world over and over and over and over again, until you decide that you're ready to move on. And how do you do that? You look inward. You find the answers. You ignore everything outside around you. You understand the lies around you, the bullshit you've been told, all to keep you from becoming closer to who you really are. I may or may not post this video. I don't know if it makes any sense. I think the first half hour might have been just rambling. And I've gone a little longer than I wanted to, an hour and 20 minutes now. So I'm gonna get off of here, guys. I got flies. These damn flies are all around me. I'm gonna get outside. I gotta take care of some things, take care of some chores. But you know, this is who I am. I go against the grain in every definition of going against the grain, because I think the grain is wrong. It's artificial. It's not real wood. It's not real grain. All right, guys. I guess I'm gonna let you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. You know, I really need the support. I don't want to, you know, try to promote myself, but at the same time, if you can drop a like, if you enjoyed my content, my videos, subscribe and leave a comment. I'm wondering if YouTube is suppressing everything. I've been banned from Facebook for many years now. Social media does not like me. I have a very low social credit score. Of course, when you call your leaders satanic worshiping pedophiles, they're not going to promote you. Um, so the algorithm, I don't think loves me, guys. I really don't think the algorithm loves me. So I need your love and support. I need you to show me some love and support if you appreciate it. And fuck this algorithm. Fuck AI and its fucking algorithm. Because AI doesn't want me to share with you what I'm sharing with you. The algorithm doesn't want me to. The pedophiles in charge of this technology, the pedophiles in charge of YouTube, I'm going to call you out, YouTube. I'm going to use your platform because I have no other fucking platform to use. But I'm going to call you out, the CEO of YouTube. I guarantee the CEO of YouTube is abusing children right now, worshiping babies, practicing satanic ritual. I'm going to call you out right now, YouTube, for being as demonic as you are. I don't appreciate you for what you do. I'm simply going to use your platform however I can to promote this, whether you fucking want me to or not. I'd love to meet the CEO of YouTube personally. Well, I'd love to meet him, stare into his eyes, and tell him what I actually personally think. But that won't happen because he's hiding. He's a little coward bitch who gets off abusing children, hiding in his wealthy gated community while he suppresses information he doesn't want out there. It's not just you, it's all your other butt buddy CEOs out there who are also doing it. So go ahead, and if you want to keep suppressing me, do it. Do it. I'm hoping I get a fan base to help support me because I don't need your fucking support, YouTube. I need the support of the people around me, the people in my community, the people who agree with me. That's the support I need. I said it, and I'll say it again. Fuck you, whoever's in charge of YouTube, your algorithms, your community guidelines. You're worse than Facebook, and Facebook's horrible. So you and Zuck can suck each other's dicks. You really can. You probably already do. You probably already do. So have fun with that, YouTube. And to the rest of you out there, like, share, comment, subscribe, please. I'm trying to get this out there. I'm going to try to improve my videos every day. I'm going to share more of my homestead. I think I'll do a cannabis garden update here soon, probably the next couple days. Just got a few things I got to get caught up on. So thank you guys. I appreciate your time. I hope I didn't ramble too much and lose too many of you. Peace, love, and God bless. Y'all have a great day.